Today we have a Mazda 3. The problem with this one is the headlights are not working on the dipped beam. As you can see, I've got the side lights on at the moment, but when I turn the headlights on, absolutely nothing happens. It could be something simple, could be something more sinister, but the first thing to do whenever a bulb isn't working is give it a thump. Watch this. There we go, one's working. Try that with the other one. It's not working. So what that tells me on this side is the bulb is fine, it's more of a connection issue, so now we look at that. And this one, I'll check the bulb and stuff like that, but we'll find out what's wrong with it. We'll have a wee poke about. So I've opened the bonnet, and what you can see right there is the cable for the dipped headlight. A little tab at the top, also two of them, one at the top, one at the bottom. Pinch them in, pull it outwards, and that'll take that bit off. That's it disconnected, and I can actually see some corrosion on those points. See the green stuff? So that's probably the cause of the light not working. So I'll give that a wee clean up. Also on the pins themselves, and if you see that, a little bit dirty, so I can take that off and give them a clean. So, little rubber boot. Need to pull this off. I'll get it off now. Start the camera again. That's it. It should come off now. I truly just pull it. Sometimes a little bit stiff if it's been on there for a while. It's a rubber boot. Place it aside. Don't lose it. This is a view of the inside. You can see a little silver wire. So what we're going to do is the top one you've got to push in. I think you move it up. Yep. So push the top pin in. That very top one. There. Push it in and lift it upwards slightly, and it should swing the whole lot out like that. As you can see, quite a bit of corrosion on the little connectors there, so I'll just give them a little clean up. Just with a little file or something, a little bit of sandpaper, something like that. Get them nice and clean. I've just used a little nail file I've got in my toolbox for this purpose. You can see a lot cleaner now. So that's that bit done. So all I'm going to do in this one, I think, is clean up these little pins. So what I'm going to do is I'm just got a little tiny screwdriver. I'm going to scratch all that green stuff off and get it as kind of nice and shiny as I can. As long as the more copper that you can see, the better, basically. And I'm going to get it nice and clean, put it back together, and hopefully that's this one sorted. So now that those connections are cleaned up, just in case I'm putting it back together, this is actually an H7 bulb with a little bulb holder. Black piece at the back is actually a bulb holder. This is, you don't get this in every car. It's obviously just unique to this particular vehicle. But when you're putting a bulb in, you'll notice there's a little lug right at the top there. There we go. So it's not completely round. There's a couple little studs on the side. Just about see that, I think. So the key is you put it in gently and just twist it round, and eventually you'll feel it locating where this little tab at the top will locate in. So we'll try and do that and try and get it on film. So now I've kind of got the bulb roughly in place. You can see the wire that we pulled out the last time, it just sort of swung out like a little hinge. We've got to push that in and then push it downwards, and it actually, that little tab that comes out the end goes round a little hook inside. So it goes in and down to lock it in place, and that will hold the bulb in place. That one was a little bit fiddly, I had to push the wire in quite far. I'll try to get good. You can see just on the far left of your screen, it's just sort of the end of the pin hooks round a little metal tab. So that's basically what you're doing, is it goes down, in, and sort of hooks around the tab just at this side over there. and now we can get the rubber booter back on the back of it, put the connection back on it, and then we can test it. Okay, that's that rubber boot pushed fully home. A little bit fiddly, but if you keep working it you'll get it back on. So we just need to connect up this back onto the thing. Don't worry about it, there's a little bit of green still in there, but that's just kind of the edges. That should be fine as long as the inside of it is actually clean. Connect it back up. So these little things, so I'll screw them out so far, and then they should wiggle free. There we go. Yeah, you may not have a couple there. As you can see, I've just cut the cable ties that I'm going to put there. Now we should be able to move this out of the way. There we go. That's a lot better. As you can see, I've taken that plug off, and the same again, I can see quite a build up of corrosion in the back of there, so I shall take that out, clean that up. I may not need a bulb on this side, but I say I'll clean it up and see what happens. Same again on this one. You can see a little pin that goes across, and you can see where it hooks on just down in the corner there, so you push it inwards. Don't know if I can do it with the camera still in here. Push it inwards and get it over that little hook, as you can see, and this should swing right out. This basically applies to most bulbs, the little sort of pin set up. Let's see, come out. Try to do it with the camera there. I'll take that off camera. Okay, I've pulled this bulb out. The first thing I notice is, if you look at the little spring in the inside, see if I can get this to focus. There's a little spring inside the bulbs, and this one appears to be broken. Come on, focus. Yep, there we go. See the little broken spring in the centre? That tells me that this bulb is blown. So hopefully a new bulb, and while I'm here I'm going to clean up all this corrosion, and hopefully that's this side fixed. Now all I need to do, this is a bulb holder and there's a bulb here, so I just need to separate it, pull this, separate these two things. It's a wee bit tight, so I might need just to put a little screwdriver in there and gently prise it apart, and then put the new bulb onto the holder, and then that should do it. And here we have a brand new H7 bulb. That's the one with the two prongs in the back. A little thing I was told a long time ago in college was you don't touch the glass part of it. You can touch the metal part, touch all this, touch the painted part at the top, but don't touch the glass. To be honest, I've never questioned why. Maybe somebody can tell me. Again, it's just something that I've always kind of got in a habit of doing, is just try not to touch a glass. If you do touch it, it's not the end of the world. I've done it before and nothing happens, but yeah, it's just something I was told a long time ago, and I've kind of stuck by it. So I have cleaned up those little connections, put the bulb back in, put the rubber boot back in, and the connector on the back. So hopefully that one's fixed. Just need to turn it on and see what happens. So I've started the engine, and as you can see, headlights are now working. So this customer should be able to drive his car again at night. But just remember that if any of your bulbs don't work in the car, just give it a little thump to the back of your hand, and if the light then goes on, or the light flickers or something like that, and you're looking at a kind of wiring connection issue, if you give it a thump and nothing happens, you're more likely to be a bulb. So thanks for watching, hope it helps somebody.